Thanks, Lunga. How's it, Jan Hendrik? How's it, Marcel? Um, Marcel, I guess I'll ask you as captain. A few of the guys have mentioned it already, and Jake White as well, that you guys are kind of playing playoffs rugby at the moment. Obviously, I know it's a playoff this weekend against Edinburgh, but URC as well, the round robin phase. How has that changed your guys' approach in terms of preparation at all? Just mentally, how are you getting the squad into that sort of playoff frame of mind?
Yeah, I think before the tour even started, we were well prepped and what could happen and what might not happen and stuff. So I think the preparation was already done before we left our shores, and obviously to get a win and Bayonne here now first week, that sets the mood for the tour as well. And I think we can draw a lot of confidence from that. And I think the players just feed from that energy and spending time with each other. So I think no, look, all in all, very happy, very well. And yeah, the mindset is to compete to the best of our abilities and to in both tournaments. So no, we taking it with respect, yeah.
And Jan Hendrik, you and Marcel both had outstanding games against Bayonne. Well done. Jan Hendrik, for you though, coming off the bench, you really seem to enjoy yourself out there, having an impact role, starting at Lucid Prop and then switching to hooker. Is that a role that you see yourself fulfilling a lot in the years to come, or is starting still something that you would desire to do?
Thank you very much. I think there's a side picked on the weekend, and each individual has his job to do. And I think where rugby is going at the moment, and where the 8 guys off the bench is almost just as important as the guys starting. So if the coaches select me there, it's my responsibility to do my utmost best to give it to the team. So if it's the 1 jersey or the 17 or the 2 jersey or the 16 jersey, it's just for me to do my best and give my all to the team.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Marcel, you did mention everybody's very happy at the moment. How is the mood in the camp after the Bayonne win, and how's everybody feeling about an extended stay in Europe?
Well, obviously, it's a privilege to stay on. It's it's a well-respected tournament, and you wanna be in the final hurdle when it comes to that. So I think in order to beat a quality Bayonne side in Bayonne, the crowd, the vibe, the foreign country, it was a special win for us as a group. And we'll draw a lot of confidence from that, knowing that we can play away and tour also well, if we get our structures and our mindsets right. And yeah, I think the enjoyment factor is definitely with the guys. I think that plays a huge role with the successes. And we're trying to make the most out of every opportunity. So I think now Edinburgh waiting for us. Yeah, it's also not going to be an easy game. Got a lot of respect for Edinburgh. Worked the show in Everett in my early years, So no, we know kind of what's to expect, but it's an opportunity, and we're really looking forward to it.
Thanks. And Ken did say you two particularly had great games against Bayonne. What would you say is maybe the secret behind the success, and maybe in the forward pack and in the scrums and mauls at the Bulls at the moment?
I think we just spoke about it after that Leinster game. We really want to show some respect to one another and really want to fight for one another. And just even if it's difficult, if the crowd is against us, if we're traveling, just find a way to win. So I think tour is doing us well at the moment. We had some slip-ups in this year, so we obviously just want to stick to our strong points and just want to find a way if it's possible. And yeah, I think it's just starting to play for each other.
Great, thank you, guys.
How's it, guys? How you doing?
Good, thanks.
I'll start with Marcel. How do you balance playing against a team you obviously know a bit more in Edinburgh? Obviously because you played them in the URC, versus the fact that I've just had a look at the sort of head-to-head. It seems like the home team always wins when you guys play against each other. How do you balance, the knowledge that at least it's better than a French team you know little about, versus obviously every time you've traveled to them, you've struggled?
Yeah, I think it's the one uniqueness in this tournament. One weekend you can play a Scottish team or a Welsh team or a French team, and in this case, we're playing a well-rounded Scottish team with an Edinburgh. Yeah, look, the two times that we hit out with each other at Edinburgh, it didn't go our way. One partially my fault last time, but look, it's knockoff rugby, So I think in terms of the preparation, that's how we will address it, and it's not a case of where you need to score bonus points or you really chase the game. We can really settle and play the pressure cycle to our advantage, and the game management, particularly on the field as well. And like Jan Hendrik said, we as a pack, we trying to take a lot of pride in setting it up for our backs. Our set piece are going well at this stage, and we just want to continue building on those foundations.
Jan Hendrik, when it's the second time, Saturday was the second time that you were listed on the team sheet as number 16, and you obviously came on as number 17 to start with, and then obviously you moved back into hooker. When that happens, I mean, do you get sort of early notice that, listen, you might actually have to go in as prop, or is it as surprised like it is for us when you come in as hooker, but you're coming in at prop?
There is planning going through the week, so because I can play both positions, I need to learn the lineouts, the detail. I scrum on both in the week, so there is going well-rounded prep into it, and I don't say it's a planned thing going into the weekend, but it's always a possibility. So for me on my side, I just want to everything I can do through the week to be at my utmost prepared at both positions. So it is always an option. Yeah, so it's just for me to prepare. I don't think it's a halftime talk that's a surprise.
Thanks, Tassim. Can we then take the next round? Refilwe. From Refilwe, we will go to Angus. From Angus, we will go to Morgan. Ashfaq, I'm not sure if you're struggling because you were supposed to take it after.
I'm back here. Sorry, man. I got logged out there. I'm back.
Okay, cool. Thanks. So after Ashfaq, we'll go Refilwe, Angus from. Okay, Refilwe doesn't have audio. So after Ashfaq, we'll go to Angus, Morgan, Devin H, and then Mike Greenway. Thank you.
Hi, guys. Hope you're well. Sorry, I was knocked out there, so I don't know if this has been asked. But Jan Hendrik, what do you prefer, hooker or prop?
I think at the moment I'm focusing on both, focusing on throwing in the line out, focusing on scrumming on both, and yeah, so I don't have a preference. Yeah, it's just for me to grow as a player in both positions.
And it seems like your lineup throwing has really taken a step up. I think you've done really well up to now, but it just seemed in Saturday's game it was a really smooth throw, whether it was short, middle, back of the lineup. How's the confidence with regards to the lineup throwing?
No, it's obviously if you get time under the belt in the games, it's obviously helping a lot. Yeah, we got good locks coming through, and yeah, the guys make it really easy picking the right options, and yeah, standing you can always slip a lift or something like that, and you'll look at the hooker and it's maybe his fault. But for the guys pitching up on Saturday and just working hard to perfect everything, yeah, so it's obviously making my job a lot easier.
And seeing that you can play hooker and prop, are you now volunteering to play fullback also? Because the way you launch a counter attack there, you showed the boys how it's done.
No, I'll stick to the front two for now.
Okay, cool. Just one for Marcel. Marcel, yeah, captain's not there for you. You must feel really good about your game at the moment, getting stuck in, and I guess the atmosphere and circumstances needed that from you and the Bulls pack, and you guys really fronted up and must give you confidence for Edinburgh.
Yeah, I think collectively as a pack, I think we really stepped up well according to the conditions. We know the French mentality, they've always got big forwards and they pride themselves on their set pieces. not managing to let them score more try, was a bonus for us, So no, look, we can take a lot of confidence as this is a pack, but thing about rugby, you have to pitch up the next weekend as well, So facing Edinburgh, they've got Scottish internationals as well in the pack, So that's a different challenge waiting for us, So I think the big thing now is just to make sure the sore bodies gets recovered well, and then we get on to the next job going into Edinburgh.
You're saying the different challenge. Is it almost like a bit more of a scientific approach for Edinburgh? Because you know Sean Everett also quite well as a Bulls team, and Jake knows him well, compared to, as we say, the French normally just play off the cuff French flair and that kind of thing. So it's maybe a bit easier to prepare for in a way.
Yeah, I think because of our head-outs in the past, we more or less know what to expect. But in saying that, they also alternate a lot of things into their game, recently. So, and that's things we'll keep close to our chest. But yeah, the one thing about the Scottish side, it's never an easy game going abroad. They make you work hard for it. Proud nation, proud team in Edinburgh as well, and they're smart in how they go about their things, So I think on the day, we can't really afford soft moments or let ourselves down with silly mistakes. You have to be accurate at all times against Edinburgh if you want to come out on top. And then obviously we just need to build on our foundations that's working for us.
Cool. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Angus.
Oh, thank you, Lunga. Afternoon, gentlemen. Marcel, the Bulls have toured reasonably well this season during the URC. And do you feel that helps in your favor in terms of being overseas for so long now? And also, do you feel that the team is speaking at the right time as well?
Yeah, I think we've grown immensely as the season progressed, especially this last couple of weeks. I think in the previous games we let ourselves down is by our own doing, where we had soft moments, letting the oppositions out. Maybe sometimes things not working out, being inaccurate, and then they get 22 entries. But I think we managed to limit that to an extent, and just going back to what works for us, as a group, we love our set piece battles, and I think the backs really had an awesome game also, giving us good pictures this weekend as well, and you could see the try that they scored. It was phenomenal, So no, look, I think the secret is definitely the enjoyment I think we're trying to make out of the tour, and it forces you to spend a lot of time with the guys and really get to know them on a different level. Preparation wise, we see each other every day, so we can always manage to cover something if something was missed, or so it's just a lot of time that goes into it behind the scenes, but we're trying to get the balance right between enjoyment and also being professional, and I think that's really been a working recipe for us, yeah. So.
And there's been a lot of criticism towards South African teams selecting, say, weekend sides in the Champions and Challenge Cup, but the Bulls came full strength against Bayonne. So my question is basically, are you guys focusing on winning both competitions potentially, or is there a preferred one you guys would like to win?
I think it's not, you can say early days, but there's still 3 games to go in the Challenge Cup, and there's still 4 round games left in the URC. So obviously we are on tour, and we want to try our best to perform well in both tournaments. I don't think it's not speaking about winning a tournament yet. It's just preparing well in the week and just sticking to what we've been doing and what's been working for us. So obviously we're on tour, and we want to put our best foot forward. I don't think there's ever a game that we put aside forward to set them up to lose. So we're trying our best to do well in both competitions.
Now, thank you, gentlemen. Thanks, Lunga.
Just the one from me. Either one of you can answer. You've spoken about the strengths of Edinburgh and knowing them a little bit better, but what can you take from last week's game and what the Lions, while losing, were still able to achieve that you can possibly take away from that and looking to this week's game?
Yeah, I think from our side, I think the breakdowns is going to be a big contest. You know, they've got internationals there. They know how to play smart around the breakdowns. You know, so it's going to be a tough battle for us, and we can't be slow to win those races. So I think take the conditions in consideration. Don't know how the weather's going to pan out, but you know, weather can play definitely a factor. The wind as well. So no, I think our kicking game is going to be also a massive focus point going to this, making sure we're playing in the right areas and to our strengths. But yeah, all in all, I think just to back up what we did against Bayonne, you know, I think our set piece were very good at the day and managed to put us in good areas. 9 and 10 really controlled the things well with the back three. So yeah, it's kind of like a knockout rugby mindset that you have to approach, and you just have to be accurate on the day.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, a question for Marcel, although it's just been asked in a way. I was going to say Scottish rugby from the national team to Glasgow and Edinburgh attack sort of a little differently to other teams. They got really a lot of players full of flair. Does that pose different questions for you on defence against Edinburgh? Just the way the Scottish teams attack.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of mini moves within open play in general. You know, they've got forwards that can put guys in good spaces around them. They can get the passes to the 10s as well. So no, it's a very high tempo game. You know, sometimes when you play the Scottish teams, you know, they rely on a lot of ruck speed to be quick, so they can find those holes and the weakness in the defense. You know, so yeah, that's something we identified, and we are working hard towards countering that for this weekend. You know, so I think. No, defensively we'll definitely be up to it, and it's just about being smart and having those connections and the boys around you to make the right decisions at the right time.
Thanks.
Cool. Thank you so much, colleagues. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, Jan Hendrik. Thanks, gents.